now we can get started. Okay, so welcome to the AgnihotraLadies, the Cosmic Clinic. I am Mother D. We're broadcasting live at Shantivilla Institute. We are located in Tuskegee, Alabama, right up the street from historic Tuskegee University. We're at the Shanti Atlanta location, which is in Conyers, Georgia. So, as always, we're going to get started with the Varuti mantra, and then we can dig into the talk, which is what the scientists don't know, the truth about the planet and people. So, let's get started with the Varuti mantra, and then we can jump into the talk. And then we do have the breakaway for Agnihotra, which is at 6:18 p.m. here and Eastern time here at in Atlanta in the Conyers location. Boo swaha, Agnihotra namama, va swaha, Vayaveda namama swa swaha, Surya yada namama, Bhurva swa swaha, Prajapatiyeda namama. Okay, so we're gonna get started. And actually, let's see. The Agnihotra starts, and I just looked this up, and I'm looking it up again. It's at 6:18 p.m. So at 6:11, we're gonna get off the talk. So to start the fire, and then we'll resume the talk. But as you know, here for people that don't know, Shantivilla is an Ayurvedic medicine school, Homa, farming, and eco center. And we teach the ancient Ayurvedic knowledge of Agnihotra. Agnihotra is an ancient practice done in the copper pyramid, which we use cow dung, rice, and ghee, and it is tied to the circadian rhythm of nature. So we put those items in the copper pyramid, and at sunrise, there's a flood of ethers, energies, and electricities that cascade upon the planet. And there's an interaction between the solar system, the sun, and the pyramid. And nutrients are burst back into the atmosphere. And it cleanses pathogenic bacteria from the atmosphere. It cleanses water. It restores soil. Um, and it heals people. Okay. So this is a way for us to combat climate change and the pollution that we've put upon our planet, our Mother Earth. We're able to help restore balance to Mother Earth. So this is what we teach here at Shantivilla Institute. And this is something that's especially important now with all of the things that are going on with the planet and we people that are on the planet as well. So um, it's always good to teach people Agnihotra, especially those that are in neighborhoods that are having challenges with crime, because this is a way to restore the soil. And if you want to start a community garden, you're able to grow some really healthy food because it puts nutrients into the soil and makes the food very, very good to eat, very nutritious and nutrient dense there. And it helps to deal with the people that are living in the neighborhoods and doing these things that are not so good for the neighborhood. And it helps to heal their hearts, and they're able to transform their minds because they understand how they fit in with the greater scheme of things and life, and how connected they are to their fellow brothers and sisters in the neighborhood. And this is what um, we're so happy to share with anyone that wants to learn how to grow healthy food and get their soil together and wanting to deal with the climate change and the pollution and all these things that we humans have done to the planet. Okay, so a lot of these things that are happening to the planet, um, agriculture can help undo these things. We have to have a balanced planet, and agriculture is a way to do that. Okay, so you don't have to look at these headlines and say, "Oh my gosh, what's happening? We can't do anything." Agriculture is a way to address all of these things. So we are going to prepare for agriculture in about 1 minute. So I'm just going to talk through that, and then we'll get into the talk because you perform this at sunrise and sunset. And like I said before, it's tuned into the circadian of rhythm. Um, Circadian rhythm is how all nature is functions. So the beginning of that process starts at sunrise. That's a beginning of the first half of the 12-hour process there, and then the latter part of the 12-hour clock is at sunset. That's why we perform it at sunrise and at sunset. So this is something easy that you can do individually, or you can do it with your family. And if you're in a community that is dealing with um, dumped radioactive waste, that's the alarm for to start the agriculture. Pollution, which they tend to dump in these at-risk communities, or if you're dealing with a lot of crime, this is a great way to restore the soil and help remove that pollution and to help heal the people. Okay, so now that is the um, our indicator here for Agnihotra. So what you normally do, because this is sunset, and what we do, we have a mantra for sunrise and we have a different one for sunset. And so we use dried cow dung, we use brown rice, and then we use ghee, which is nothing but unsalted butter that has been um, boiled for about 20 minutes. You may know it is clarified butter, but that is ghee. You can make it yourself or you can buy some in the store. So I already have some already prepared cow dung that is smeared, because you smear the cow dung with ghee. This is dried cow dung. So I'm putting in the cow dung in the copper pyramid. And this is we use all copper items, okay? Okay, so, and what you do is at sunrise or sunset, you say the Sanskrit mantra, and then you make the offering of rice every time you hear the word swaha. So you're going to hear me say the Sanskrit mantra at sunset, and then every time you hear me say swaha, I have a little bit of rice in my hand, and then I will drop it into the fire every time you hear me say swaha. And so that is the basic Agnihotra process for sunset. And what you do is you let the pyramid stay in that spot. If you have a room where you do meditation, you can put that in that room, or uh, in a room that you have full of plants. You put it there, or you can do it outside. You can also do it there as well. Um, and then you just let it stay in place. The resultant ash is the byproduct. This is what you can use for restoring your soil. And let me see, where did I put my jar of ash? Okay, where did I put the ash? Hold on a second. I had a jar of ash. Hold on a second. Let me go get the jar of ash because I had some. So hold on a minute. 6:13. So here is the ash. So this is the resultant ash that you can use for gardening, restoring your soil. You can make it into medicine. Can you see all of that? Oops. Oops, that's the ash, okay? Okay, so let me go ahead and light the fire for Agnihotra. Okay, so now we're gonna get ready for Agnihotra. It's 6:15 and it's at 6:18. It's Agnihotra time here in Atlanta. In Conyers, I should say. Okay, so you build your fire up. I've already lit the I've already lit the countdown. So now I'm just waiting for it to build up. Okay. So this is a Varuti mantra. This is not Agnihotra. This is how we normally start when we do our talk. So here is the preparation for Agnihotra. And normally you chant the mantra, we chant a Sanskrit mantra, and then we sit quietly until the flame goes out. But since we're doing this live, um, we'll sit quietly for a few minutes and then we'll start to talk. So that way the show doesn't last too long. Okay? So now I'm going to get the rice and then we start Agnihotra in a few minutes, or in 1 minute, I should say. And then we normally do this with the right hand as also. So I don't know how it looks on the camera, but using the right hand to do Agnihotra. So we have about a minute to 6:17, and we'll light the fire. You light the fire exactly at sunset. You light it exactly at sunrise. So here we're going to start the Agnihotra process right now. Agnaye Swaha. Agnayedam Namama Prajapatiye Swaha. Prajapataye Idam Namama. And that is the Agnihotra process. So normally you wait until the flame goes out. You sit quietly until the flame goes out. So you just sit in silence, whether you're inside your meditation room or you can do this outside. Many people dedicate a room specifically just to do Agnihotra. And this is what they do, but it can be performed inside and outside. The effects of Agnihotra goes 8 miles up and 2 mile radius. So this is an ancient Ayurvedic technology that heals the planet and restores the balance. It cleanses the pathogenic bacteria from the air. It cleanses the water. It restores the soil so it is properly balanced. It helps get rid of the electromagnetic pollution that is, because everything is polluted with the planet at this point. Every single part of the planet, unfortunately, is polluted. Um, so tonight's talk is what the scientists don't know about the planet and their people. And so we have often talked about on this show about the planet and how everything is connected and how when one thing is affected, it affects everything. So you probably have heard us talk about a biological concept called man, microbes, flora, fauna. So with this principle, when one thing is affected, it affects everything. When one thing is destroyed within that list, then everything can be destroyed. So what happens with what we are doing to the planet, you do something to the water is tainted, that affects the soil. When you do something to the soil, that affects the air. When you do something to the air, that affects, how the trees grow, all of these things. That affects people getting asthma. I think they had studies they're talking about now that the asthma rate in children has increased, and people that have respiratory issues, they have increased, especially in places, Utah and Colorado. I mean, just not there, but because the air quality has changed from the wildfires and just from the overall pollution. And so, um, in those areas, it's really important for people to perform Agnihotra. Agnihotra is a basic homifier, and there are other homifiers that you can do in order to cleanse the atmosphere. Once again, we are telling you that Agnihotra, the effects are go from 8 miles up and a 2 mile radius. So this is something that will help your neighbors, yes, your community. I'd be very happy to know that the clean air that they can feel and breathe is because maybe you or your entire household is performing Agnihotra. Okay. Um, so in the man microbes flora fauna process, you know, these are the things, these are the aspects of nature. And so just understand when we are talking about the sciences that modern scientists study, they study geology, um, marine biology, and soil science, and entomology, and meteorology, and all these things. They are studying the very aspects of nature. But the earth, all of the things on the planet, the wind and the rocks and the plants, the trees, everything on the planet, including humans, is actually one organism. So I don't believe there's many scientists that understand that this is one entire organism. And I understand it has to be broken up when they study this, but the earth, the planet, all of the things on the planet earth is one big organism, including humans. So consider humans for those of you that grow food, you grow plants. Consider humans like the fruiting body that's able to walk around and take care of the planet. So we're like the universal consciousness in the human form that's able to walk around freely and check on how the rivers are flowing and to check on to see how the flowers are growing and things like that. But what has happened now because of this misunderstanding that the entire planet is an organism, okay? I don't believe many scientists are studying it like that, that when you have the polluted water, when you have the polluted food, okay, when you put the GMOs and you spray all these nasty pesticides in the plants, that you basically are killing every piece of the organism too with that. So that is why when they say that they had studies showing during the pandemic, they said yes, pollution is worse than the effects of the pandemic. And whenever they've had an outbreak of swine flu, you can look this up. Whenever there's a problem with the food system, like when they have a salmonella outbreak, or they find out something was happening with these pigs or cows that were slaughtering, or something was going on with how something was packaged in the facility. Whenever there's an outbreak with disease in animals, there's also an outbreak with disease in humans, and that is because everything is related. And it's related because everything is the earth itself and all of these different sciences that have been split up and studied, like I said before, the meteorology and plant scientists, soil scientists, all this stuff. The earth is really one big organism, and humans are the fruiting body. We um, are divine caretakers, that we've not done a very good job of being caretakers. But please understand that we are not separate, okay? We are not separate. Everything is connected because it's one organism. The entire planet is one organism, okay? So if you understand that, that's just like this goes into the medical profession, how they deal with, some doctors deal with the human body. This is one body, okay? We may have specialties for ear, nose, throat, and the heart doctor and things like that, but this is one organism. So when medical doctors, and I'm seeing mainstream medical doctors, understand that humans are part of the planet's health, and the planet's health is part of human health. So you can't have a sick planet and have healthy people. No, it doesn't work that way. When the planet is healthy, then the people will be healthy. So, because it's a reflection, we are a mirror of each other because we are all the same organism. Okay. So this might be hard for some scientists to understand, but please go back to some of the notes of George Washington Carver. Dr. Carver was a scientist that worked at Tuskegee University, and he studied the plants, and he understood the importance of having healthy soil in dealing with the plants and the monocropping that was going there. But you have to understand that the earth, the planet Earth, is one organism. Um, so that is the main point that I wanted to function to make sure that we were very clear about that. Okay, so, and I wrote down, make sure I cover everything in notes because this is a really important topic. I was discussing it with a few people the last several days. And it is our divine birthright to be the caretakers of the planet. And what happened is there's a natural order that's supposed to take place. And so when we talk about balance, we're talking about things that happen automatically. And that when you interfere with these automatic processes that the creator put in place, that's when you have all sorts of problems. So we have interfered so much in the planet's processes, that's what's happening now. We try to perfect already the beautiful value of the atom. You can't be tampering with the atom, everybody. And we do that trying to come up with new technology, but when you tamper with the atom, as we've said before, you can destroy an entire civilization. We tamper with this, trying to correct that last thing that we created. Then it makes a worse problem. So in science, you're not supposed to destroy something. That's not really good science. So in Ayurvedic technology, science does not destroy. It simply is in balance with what's there that has been put there, bestowed to us by the Creator. So we were assigned to be caretakers, allowed to be caretakers. We use free will to do what we want, ignoring the balance of nature. So when you do not adhere to the ways of balance, then what we have now happening on the planet is what happened. Because as we said before, there are many studies that show, um, you know, where the pollution is made all these pandemic and all these things even worse because it just cascades and it builds up, and we are breathing 2,500 gallons of air in a 24-hour period. So that right there, you got poisoned thoughts, and you have the thought pollution, and then that right there, you're ingesting that, and that leads to ailments if you're ingesting all of that. And of course, our food, because we put pesticides and which interferes with the process of the sun activating, okay, and helping things to grow and be nurtured, but you are interfering with that process when you create this GMO and this Frankenstein food and things like that. So it's once again we're having unbalance on top of imbalance on top of imbalance. So that's what we're dealing with. And so when you see now the behaviors of people where you have young people that are depressed, committing suicide, even as young as age 10 or 11, or people where it's a murder suicide in their family, or people doing all this. Seem like every week somebody's shooting up the workplace or going into the Walmart doing things. It's because of the air and the prana, which is the energy that flows through everything. Even that has become polluted. And what happened is that pollution extends out into outer space, and it causes space shrinkage, which we have talked about before. So um, most humans probably don't realize that the true connection of themselves, who we are with the planet, okay, that we are all one organism. So because of that, and we've forgotten the natural ways of living, this is the things that are happening on the planet right now. Um, we, and let's make this very clear, we are not living on the planet. Like here we're living on a planet, we're separate. No, we're living alongside the other aspects of the planet. We're living with the water, with the trees, with the wind, with the soil. And since we're the fruiting body that is walking around, we're to make sure that all these things remain in balance. And so this is really the gist of the talk, because it's really important that not just scientists, but that we all understand the true connection between we the people and the planet. And once we understand that, then it's like aha, we have an aha moment, and then we'll be even more motivated to take care of our bodies and take care of the Mother Earth. So this is the message that we wanted to talk about this evening. It's going to be a real short talk because we've had a very busy weekend, and I think we may have mentioned before this summer we have a big event coming up where we're going to be teaching at some urban gardens. Okay. And we will give you the dates when it gets closer in, but we've been planning and all of that. And we got some good stuff to share with you. I believe it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a 4-day event, and it's going to be wonderful. Um, and this is open to the public there in Ohio. Anyway, we'll give you more details as we get closer in. But um, the main location at Shantivilla Institute is closed for renovations. You can still order off our website, shantivillainstitute.com. That's SHANTI, shantivillainstitute.com. The location at Conyers, Shanti, Atlanta, is open by appointment only. And you can send an email to shantivillainstitute@gmail.com. And then you can get our telephone number off of our website, because I always forget what the phone number is. As you know, I'm giving phone numbers. So um, right now we do have like 2 pyramids left, and then Jason's going to be ordering um, later on in this month. So we only have 2 in stock on the website, and then I think I have 1 more at the location here in Conyers. So just bear with us as we get stocked up pretty soon. But we have, like I said, 2 there. Um, so I won't show the kit right this second. But we also have, besides the dried cow dung for sale, which looks like this, which you can order from the website. It's that's on the website, and then we have our Secret Science of Mudras. Let me see if you can see that. We have the ebook form. We do not have the booklet form yet. Okay, the ebook, and this is the mudras. You can movements with your hands and fingers. As you know, you have 72,000 nerves that are activated when you do mudras with your fingertips, and they're healing. So we have that book, and I think we have a couple of other books that are for sale, but that's what we have right now. Okay, so as always, we're happy that you joined us this evening, and you can catch us on our Facebook page, which is Shanti Villa Institute, and that's CHANTI, like it shows on the screen right there. Well, let me see. Well, screen right here. I'm looking at the little ribbon here. So Shanti Villa Institute, that is the main location page, and then our Atlanta page is Shanti Villa Atlanta, and you can come by for Agnihotra for free. Agnihotra is free. This is a gift to anyone, free to all mankind. Agnihotra is free. You just have to let me know ahead of time, and I can show you. And if you would like me to come show you how to get this up and running in your neighborhood, we would be happy to show you that, because it's really important that we get the neighborhoods together, because these imbalances that we've been talking about, it most certainly affects those that have been deemed the ghetto, okay? Because they dump all their pollution there, and then the people suffer, because then it affects the adults' behaviors, the children's behavior, and all of that. So once we clean up the neighborhoods and we get the soil healthy and some good food there, because they don't really, usually in these neighborhoods, they have food deserts, and sometimes they'll call, when you get those grants, food swamps, if there's only like one grocery store. So we have to make sure in these neighborhoods that we are growing healthy food to feed people's minds, so their minds can become clear of the pollution of tainted food. Okay. And it's very, very important because that is the medicine for your body. Okay. And so if you work in a community or live in a community and you would like to get a demonstration of how Agnihotra is done, please come by And so that way you can show this to your community, and you can help solve the problems in your community. Or if you have a challenge in your home, you can do this yourself. We'll just show you what to do so you can take this to your home or to your community, okay? But this is meant to be shared. Agnihotra is an ancient Ayurvedic tool that is meant to be shared freely with all people, okay? There are a lot of people across the world that perform it, okay? Every corner of the globe, pretty much. And so it's really important that this is shared freely so people can heal the climate crisis and deal with the pollution. Okay. You can do this yourself as an individual, or you can involve your entire community, which would be wonderful because then everything would be healed, the soil, the air, all of that. You have everybody working together, and then you're going to find that your crime goes down. And I believe that my friend Fred Richmond was telling me that they do have studies that show when you do farming in the communities that the crime level does go down. So for anyone watching that are community advocates, or you want to start something in a community that is challenged, just give us an email, give us a call, and we can show you how to set up Agnihotra in your community, so that way you can do this for your community, okay, and have clean air, clean water, and all of that, okay? So thanks again for joining this evening. You've been watching the Agnihotra Ladies, the Cosmic Clinic. This is Mother D, and I will talk to you the next time. Have a wonderful evening.